Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Just before we get into this video, the store is open. So I've uploaded a bunch of stuff that people didn't get a chance to get already, like hoodies. There's a couple of new designs. The idea with this is, again, for anyone that hasn't seen it, it's a pre-order. So we're going to open the shop for 2 weeks, close it then, and then we're going to produce the orders. So just be aware of that if you're buying anything. Thank you so much guys for the support, and I really appreciate it. Once we get this going, next week I'm going to launch the Patreon. I just need a little bit more time to sort out the Discord and that. So yeah, thank you so much. Please enjoy the store and please enjoy this video. Please give a like and subscribe and all that jazz. Thank you so much as always. It is incredibly appreciated. Take care and goodbye. Enjoy. So we brought some wheels arrived in the container in work. CR01s. What are they? 10J?
They're 10J minus 18.
Right, so we brought them down because you got a kit from us in work. And these are the N-style arches that you got in Japan. Trying on some other wheels for a version 2.
These are the arches that I got in Japan for free.
Yeah, that you promised them you'd eventually use.
Secret Service. Yeah, so the deal was he gave me these for free on the deal that I was going to put them on my car.
Yeah.
And to me it's a bit risky to put them on the car because they do look very leery and the car looks nice as it is. And then I seen a car in Japan with a Car Modify Wonder body kit with these arches, and in my opinion it looks good.
Yeah.
And these actually CR1s as well. And now there's a Car Modify Wonder kit over there that I got second hand in Japan.
And
JDM distro. And N-style arches.
I know we brought down a CR01 that's in a nice size.
Look at them. These are the tyres I run in the mountains at night. I got these and I heard these are not Avant or NS. What are they? AR1s. Nankang AR1s. And then I was in Mondello and I done like 2 laps and I started understeering and I said these are supposed to be good tyres. And then I remembered years ago, joking, this is my catch can setup, my blow by, and I had it down there pointing at the front wheel, and I always joked that if I ever understeer it means my engine's fucked. And then I remembered and I looked under, my engine's fucked because it was spraying oil all over the wheel.
So spraying all over the tyres and giving you the worst.
Yeah, that was my warning.
You'd want to get a wheel on there fairly lively, lad.
Yeah?
Jack is about to fall off there. Look at it, it's only barely on the corner.
Oh fuck.
Oh Jesus, Reuben, quick.
Get a wheel on there quickly.
Big panic. Let's enjoy where it's really safely attached to the jack. Fuck. That is good. It's like just not even on.
Well, if it falls, it's going to be on camera.
On the car, look, it's very exciting.
Stance. Nation.
Looks like fucking Jason X.
Yeah, that's the JZX look. Boys fab.
Foizwab.
Sure, look, all you need to do is go like this.
Yeah, and once you put that on, then it's done. Yeah.
Yeah, up that way.
All dogs just spin around. Looks good.
This one?
Actually, it looks alright from here.
It looks really good. It looks very, very cool. Just fat wheels.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it doesn't look too bad.
No, it doesn't at all.
But like, it still drives. Like, you wouldn't know anything's wrong.
Yeah. Until something's wrong.
Yeah. It still boosts, I'd say. That's it, that's the last time.
Last time ever.
I'm trying to figure out. I think before we went to Japan, the first time.
2016.
Yeah. So what's that? 5 years. Dublin port. That was the 9th of August 2016.
Right.
So it's over 5 years now.
Okay. So,
I guess the car has been in several videos, but we never actually took the time to.
no, we've never,
featured it.
ever actually stopped to talk about your car ever.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird. I guess when we hang out with each other, you just take it for granted, like that the car's here all the time. Like a lot of the cars in the shed, like if I didn't know you, I'd be adamant to feature the car, but
Yeah,
the fact that
it all happened together and hand in hand.
But people always request, they always ask for, how come you've never done a video on Reuben's car, like, so.
Because it's just here the whole time.
But now we are doing a video on your car. Let's start from the start.
Okay.
What happened? How did you end up with this car? What's the story here?
Because I was looking for a car in Japan, like an R32 or an S13 or a Laurel or a JZX81. And it was actually a mix-up between a JZX81 and this car. And I had an R32 for 13 years, so I do want another one. But anyway, I got this car for $1,500. It was around $1,500 US in Japan with an RB25 turbo and a manual RB20 gearbox. So it was RB25 manual, box standard engine, coilovers.
What? You got it in 2016, just when I came home from Canada, or was it before I came home from Canada?
Before, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I remember calling over to have a look at it.
Yeah, a few people questioned my ideas with the small wheels, and then I put a set of 15-inch P1s on it.
Yeah.
And only when it sat on the ground, everyone kind of looked and went, "Oh shit, okay."
Yeah, I see where it's going, because the wheels that came on it were pretty shitty.
Yeah.
But you saw the vision, the potential.
Small wheels, I think looks good on them.
Yeah.
These aren't really small. I run 16s because, for me personally, 15s are just unpractical because the car doesn't look low, but underneath the chassis and the gearbox are like rubbing the ground. But the arches and stuff don't actually look that low.
Yeah.
Because it's not kit low. But underneath this car, the chassis is really low down.
You bought this, you were going to sell. The plan was to just like sell it on and make a few bob and start rolling over with like doing cars, buying and selling.
That was 5 years ago and it never happened.
And you had no opinion on these, like you bought because you knew that it had, you know, the potential because you could bolt in stuff from S13s and Skylines and that, but like you didn't really have much. No one had an opinion on these because there was only one or two in Ireland at the time.
And the more we look back at old Japanese stuff and the collection of stuff that you're after getting, like C33s were actually so popular. They were everywhere in Japan, like in the 90s, and they were the drift chassis up the mountains or on track, and they just, I don't know why they didn't become that popular over here. People just went for S13s.
Oh, imagine, all over again.
It is quite a story with the car, like, and now I'm really attached to the car.
Yeah.
Especially after the last video where I drove it home from Sweden, and you just said, "Oh, you can never sell this car," and I can't. So I wasn't actually even driving properly down from the port. But I still just fell in love with it. Like, I was like, oh my
Weren't there a bunch of gauges that were stolen as well? Was the boost controller or?
Yeah, there was a boost controller and a gauge and a Mori gauge or something, and there was something else. But this chassis to me is like the best of both worlds because I like RBs. So it has the heart of a Skyline. It's basically the same floor pan as a 4-door 32, but it's a different body on it. But it doesn't use McPherson strut suspension. So it uses S-body suspension all the way around. Everything from an S-body bolts on, but it has the engine of a Skyline, which to me, that's great. Yeah,
so it literally is the blend of your two favourite cars, arguably, like, which would be an S-chassis and a Skyline.
Yeah, and I think it's really easy to drift. It just handles really well compared to the Skyline. I didn't do this. I think it's cool. It's a bit dirty now.
Yeah, but someone was trying to make some kind of a drift machine out of it.
Put coilovers in it and probably done an RB20 gearbox conversion. Because the engine looked brand new, so I think that was the automatic engine they sourced from somewhere because it was never abused.
Yeah.
But I've abused it for the last few years. Not abused it, but it's been driven hard at times. It's done quite a lot. I found a Garrett GT 3071R turbo for sale.
Yeah.
In Wexford.
Let's have a look. We should.
It was cheap.
Yeah, well, that's actually a good idea. People always like, what's the spec of Reubens?
I got people, especially people, because they kind of watch you drifting during the day and everything over there is like 800 horsepower and 1000 horsepower. And they come over at night time when you're chilling out and having a few drinks and they want you to pop the hood, and then they're a bit underwhelmed when they see this. It's like, oh.
A standard RB25 Series 2?
Yeah, RB25 Series 2, standard intake manifold, standard exhaust manifold, Trust Airnix filter, Z32 airflow meter, which is probably limiting things. And then you can see there's a bit of stuff going on here. I'll give you a bit of light. So that's a teal MVR 44mm wastegate, I think.
Yeah.
You can correct me on that, somebody. So, and that's a Garrett GT3071R turbo with a .82 AR turbine housing.
Okay.
So I actually got the turbo with no turbine housing, and then I'd never buy stuff on eBay, but I had a look on eBay, and somebody was selling that turbine housing with a wastegate welded onto it in the UK, and he actually said, my friend is going to Ireland tomorrow, he can drop it to you, and it was only a few £100. So it just looks a bit agricultural. So the wastegate is welded onto the turbine housing, which is the piece I needed. So now I have external wastegate with a GT3071.
And so it makes that nice noise when...
Yeah. So it's a really basic setup because I can't afford... I just couldn't afford a top-mounted nice manifold and a lovely intake manifold.
Well, at the time, you were on a budget as well, because the whole goal you set for yourself was to build a car and bring it to Gatbill, which was the first introduction of the videos where people saw you doing that and almost losing your mind. So there was a budget.
That was literally a dream come true, to actually go there, because we'd been a few times, and just to go and bring the car there, and then the car performed well, and it outperformed me basically. Every track day I've done, I've driven home from as well, even though we've blown some gearboxes and stuff like that. We've actually always made it home.
And like the fact then of going and sending the car away, and we all thought you were a bit crazy, and then flying over and doing the fucking ice drifting, and
the ice drifting was
one
of the craziest experience.
4 Gatbills.
3, I think. 4. 3 Gatbill Rudskogans, and then I done Manthorpe as well, which is actually crazier.
Twice on the ice?
Yeah.
Which is also pretty mental.
And then I flew over and drove it all the way home.
Oh yeah.
And like, I mean, that's great, I think.
It's like a couple of 1,000 kilometres home after it being fucking well used.
Yeah, and I know like, people question RB reliability, but I've never blown one in my life, and they've been in my life for like 16 or 17 years. Japanese people, like, they obviously design these cars, the manufacturers, and then people go out and they modify them and they drive the shit out of them, and they really enjoy their cars. And that, I think that's what I've done with this. Like, I've really pushed it to the limit and just enjoyed it. After being in Japan and seeing the way they use their cars and enjoy their cars, that this is kind of a testament to that. Yeah. Which is why the livery is the icon.
Yeah, inspired by the Skyline, the 32 Group A car, but then you found, was it an R30 or is it an R31? Remember? R30
maybe, actually,
that we kind of lifted the livery from with the 80s.
The number is, as well, the slanty number, I think looks really good.
Yeah, it does.
Because I was born in 84 and 83 looks better.
Yeah, it does.
The story behind that.
Yeah.
Simple. That makes me old.
And then if you've been a long time viewer, you've seen where we put all the graphics on and we pulled an all-nighter, and it was pretty badass.
Yeah.
I'll never forget just how much cooler the car looked with all the stickers on it that morning.
Yeah, but to be honest, the look is slightly wore off me.
Yeah.
And people mightn't like me saying that. But the car looks amazing just in all black.
Yeah.
But I'm probably going to change things up now.
Yeah.
And this is part of the reason why we're making this video.
Yeah. Well, I guess this will start with us trying on the fender flares and the wheels from work, and you got to modify Wonder Kit. You're going for a phase 2 with the car overall. But before we get ahead of ourselves, what else?
So the engine, it's got the turbo, which we spoke about, the wastegate, has 550cc Nismo injectors, and a Pexi Power FC, which is pretty basic, but it works, and it worked fine until now. The suspension, I have a strut brace that I don't know what that is. I have BC coilovers, which are pretty shot at this stage. I have Driftworks Geomaster 2 hubs that I got second hand. Driftworks offset tension rods. S14 lengthened lower arms, just cut and lengthened a bit. Standard anti-roll bar. Yeah. It's basically standard up to front.
But it's based off of like just how simple the stuff we see in Japan. Like, it's not, you didn't go for like crazy shit. Like, you went for tried and tested stuff that you've seen over the years from being around drifting. And
I think this drifts fine. And I obviously I would like a bit more power and a bit of more of a reliable gearbox, but that will come. Saving up for those things. But like, it's just a lot of people here, and not dissing it or anything, but everyone over the years got these chassis or S13s or R32s, and a lot of them think you have to chop the front off the car before you even drive it, put in a tube frame front, and then you need voice fab or something similar, and then you need crazy hubs on the back and a winter quick change and all this, which is maybe it's great to have all that stuff, but I definitely don't have the budget for that. And like 600 horse Reubens. But I didn't have the budget for that. But this is really basic stuff, and the Japanese have been driving this way for many years.
Yeah.
Just the rest of the world has kind of overtook them with the way they're going. But this is a testament to a simple, basic Jap setup, like a street setup, because it drives this car in the street, so it can't.
And
be too
you
crazy.
get out more. I see, like, you spend more time on track enjoying, while other people seem to be like, you know, have
Braking
difficulties
stuff.
with braking, expensive
Yeah.
stuff.
I've only ever broken gearboxes, and they're little RB20 gearboxes, so it's to be expected. It's 1.4 bar boost, and I have some gauges in there, some Defi gauges. I bolted in a GTR passenger seat.
Yeah.
I have the Recaro SPG1 driver's seat. This has to be noted, that radio and this truss gear knob are
Yeah.
from my R32.
You've just brought them with you every
and this
time.
steering wheel. So everything that my hands touch have been with me for a long time.
Yeah.
Which is
That's pretty
kinda
cool.
like,
Yeah, it is.
the radio works. And Flip made me a nice little bracket for my Power FC
Oh yeah.
thing that the screen
Very
is
nice.
broken. And I just have a boost gauge cable tied on here. Everything is kind of just not tidily done, but everything is done in a way that it works and it's reliable.
Yeah.
And it has been reliable. I just have a Walbro fuel pump, and on the back end I just have an Nismo or a Kaz LSD. It comes with
5-bolt shafts. Is it just standard? It's not all
Yeah.
GTR upgraded,
No,
or anything. It's all just.
just a set of camber arms, and there's a high cast lockout bar or a high cast delete kit.
Yeah.
Because this is basically the same as an S13 or an
Yeah.
R32. It has high cast from factory. Well, it comes with Skyline brakes. I think they're GTR brakes on the front.
Yeah.
Um,
And the look it has at the moment is he got these P1s out of JDM Distro then,
Yeah.
because just wanted to complete the kind of almost time attack, or not even time attack, like touring car look,
yeah,
and they look pretty cool on it. But
yeah,
yeah,
it looks good with grippy tyres on. They're actually, you'd be surprised. They're Nankang AR1 on the front and Nankang NS20 on the back, because I just couldn't get Advan 808s for the front. Sorry, Yokohama, but I'm not sponsored by Yokohama.
Yeah.
I just like this. Maybe if Mr. Yokohama, you're watching, you want to sponsor me, I could do with the help. Thank you.
I guess to some people, probably everyone knows, but
Oh yeah.
you're
These started off as because the car is just a square car. Like it's not hard to make it look more square, basically. And I don't like the little side skirts for the A31s or the C33. They have a little thing here. So these were drain gutters that I bought in the local DIY store. I didn't paint them or anything because they just came black, and they got broken on the ice. So my friend Patrick, who you may have seen in other videos, the last time I went over, he got these. He's a sheet metal worker, and he got these, and they were this shape and everything. And I literally just peeled off the plastic coating on them, and he made nice little ends for them,
Yeah.
because I never had them. And we put the stickers on, and drove it to Gapville.
yeah, now they're
That's
super
what they are, lad. And
super strong.
You can just patch up your
Your damaged sticker anytime.
Oh no.
And what else then? You had steel fenders, but then you got these then. What are
Yeah,
they? 25 or 35? Do you even
I
know?
think 25. I
Yeah.
don't actually know. And these stickers then cost us €80 were the stickers,
Yeah.
and the wrap was about €80, and we put that on ourselves. So this whole look was created by ourselves for like a couple of £100.
Yeah.
And it's tatty, like
But it looks good.
if you actually.
Yeah, but all that stuff is like any of our favourite cars that we've seen in Japan have all this, like, you know, has all this little bit of roughness to them, which gives it its character. And I really enjoy that about cars. I don't think we're into super pristine machines.
No, I'm not too bothered about how a car looks, as in like the little details and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
like
yeah.
the little imperfections, and I'm really not into that. If it looks half decent from a distance, like not a mile away, but from a nice distance away, and it drives well,
Yeah.
and you can enjoy it, well, that's
Well, that kind of makes a car probably almost cooler. But it just depends. Everybody's into different stuff, but we're into that aspect of Japan. It's always cool to see really cool cars with all the cool parts, but have a little bit of character on it, which is what has always
you and both of us have gravitated to that a lot more over the years because the car almost has a story to tell with all the imperfections, as opposed to a completely immaculate car which kind of looks like it hasn't ever done anything.
And it belongs in a showroom.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place for everything.
Yeah.
But as the more I own the car, it's like these chrome bits are really shitty looking.
Yeah.
And I seen a Laurel the other day where had nice chrome on it, and now I'm like, okay, I would like to get new chrome bits or refurbish them and get headlamps, and the front of it's actually a little bit twisted from before I got it in Japan. The bodywork is just the sticker kit that we done.
Yeah.
That's it. And a lip on the front which I got from Yahoo Auctions. I broke one of them. Fiberglass, I don't know what brand.
Stilo.
Manet metalwork. And just that's standard rear bumper.
Yeah.
So it's stock really.
What's next, really? Like, so what happened a few weeks ago?
So I drove to a drift event in Mondello. I haven't been drifting in probably a year. I just had a weird vibe about it anyway. I just felt something was going to go wrong, or I felt that I've got so much good luck with this car that something had to give. Maybe I jinxed it, but I only done a few laps and I actually started to understeer. And then I was like, why am I understeering with these new Nankang tyres? And then I remembered as a joke we made.
You should show us because it is pretty funny.
I don't have a catch can, but I never had breathing issues on the car. So I never ran a catch can. So I just quickly ran this pipe down into my little Nissan tow hook, which is right next to the front wheel.
Yeah.
And I remember joking a long time ago saying, oh, well, at least if I start understeering, I'll know my engine's fucked. And then I looked at the wheel and there was oil all over the wheel, and I seen the bottom of this pipe and it was dripping oil. So I went out for another lap and I put this Lucozade bottle here and I turned down the boost to half what it was, but it still filled this bottle with oil. Not filled it, but half of it.
Yeah.
So I still done another few laps. The car drove fine, but I didn't want to push my luck and damage something more because I had to drive it home. So I drove home, no problem, but I just looked today with a bore scope and I have a cracked piston, number 2, for anyone who wants to know, because I thought it might be number 6 because that runs a bit hotter.
Yeah.
It's 1.4 bar on that 3071 is quite a lot. I want more power, but I don't want to lose too much response, so I stay up at night time just researching EF4s and new G-series turbos, and we don't have good fuel in Ireland and I can't really afford race fuel, so I want to run decent horsepower, like 600 flywheel horsepower response.
Yeah.
So turbo technology, that turbo is I guess 10 years old, so there is newer stuff out there. So I'm probably going to go with either an EF4 7670, which is actually a little bit small. I don't want to go to the bigger one. So I might go with the new Garrett G-Series, G770 or G900. When last week they just released a T4 divided turbine housing, AR 101.
You're going to just do a refresh of the whole thing then, is kind of the plan.
Yeah, I've been saving all year for the last 6 months, and I'm going to keep saving because it's a lot of money to get it. I want nice exhaust manifold and intake manifold and forged internals and solid lifters and do all the oil reliability, drain back, and I want a decent gearbox, probably just a CD09, and so that's whatever way you look at it, that's at least 10 grand and newer injectors.
Then chuck the kit on and go for that version 2 on the outside and new heart on the inside. So
yeah. I want an aesthetic. Like, this is function. It works and it has worked for a long time. But I've always liked the aesthetics of a lovely RB engine bay. I love that, and I've always wanted that. So now I'm just seeing as the engine is kind of broken now. I'm gonna just build it properly, forge it. Maybe just the long block first, or even just build the engine, because that's quite a bit of money. I'm still saving, and then put the bolt-on stuff on afterwards once you have the core. I guess I need to spend some money on it, so I'm just going to do that and build it properly. And
Yeah, it served you extremely well
Yeah.
for what it is and what you paid for.
Yeah, I love the thing, and it has done me well.
And you've shared some pretty awesome memories with
Yeah.
it.
But I also really have always wanted a properly built, sorted,
Yeah.
fast RB25.
And you got pretty close with the other car and then
yeah.
you
So
dismantled
this-
it.
No matter what I do, even if it's not this car, I want a proper RB, fast, high horsepower, nice, but still quite responsive.
I don't know. That's it. This is kind of the final phase of this, which is kind of nice and sad, but that's life. We must keep going with things.
Move on,
And
move up.
yeah, so that's why we did this little video together, because if we didn't, we'd just go, oh shit, we probably should have made a video.
We took a few pictures. You took a few
Yeah.
pictures. And that's it. Final words.
Yes.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We were kind of serious there for a while.
Yeah, mad. We talked for nearly
Yeah.
40 minutes.
We
I'm
weren't
going
laughing.
to chop some of that out.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Thanks for watching.
Goodbye, Laurel.
Goodbye,
in this
Laurel.
version.
Beautiful.
See you tomorrow. Inferio.
Touch the sensitive
Inferio.
creation. Produced by Fives Egan. Metal Dreams.
Yeah, from Sweden. You made up nice little caps.
It's like Gran Turismo here. The brown is cool. It's actually anodized.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yesterday we tried on some of this stuff, and I brought down the rest of it today. Somehow it fitted in the good Prius, which is an amazing machine for carrying lots of stuff down. You wouldn't think that all this would fit in a Prius. Wow. Oh my god. So, brought some wheels down from work as a test fit for Reuben. Unfortunately they're sold, so they're going to go to a new place. I hope the person that owns them watches the videos and they get a kick out of it.
Do you need this?
Don't need any of that stuff, no. Like we said yesterday, this was all started by you getting these arches.
Yeah. So the man in Japan, inside, who gave me these arches, I was like, there's only one way they can work.
Yeah.
And that's with a car modify wonder kit.
Yeah.
That's here now.
It's
I
a
like
good look.
the OEM look, but these arches don't work with OEM.
It's probably like a mad candy or something now. And
See Dave's new phone?
yeah. Dave's getting a serious picture and he's going to upload this snap then.
She's like fucking 240p.
Upload it to
Serious.
fucking Bebo. It looks like a phone from the past, but it has a bit of the tech. I love it. You probably won't be able to snap that in half. Maybe you would actually if you...
I got it as a backup for when I do snap my phone.
2 seconds, why? And you already cut it. Hey, that's a lovely colour. Nice colour on the car, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we just.
Yeah, machine would have spray the kit then, just the car.
Yeah. Dogs are going to give you a hand here as well. Seems, fucking deadly. She's genuine.
Jesus, they're in very good condition.
It is in
Like-
very good condition.
like-
Yeah, it looks brand new. That's
Like,
why I wonder.
It was only on a show car.
Was it on a show car and then fucking taken off? Like, there's no dirt in there or anything.
All this shit's for sale, by the way.
Everything.
Yeah, like
You're-
all the
wrapping.
all the old wrapping.
Yeah, for anyone that's like a fan of the videos and they want to have leftover wrappings
Yeah.
from Reubens stuff, it's all going to be for sale very soon. Anything helps, lads. If you buy some of the cardboard off him,
yeah.
he could afford to put a bit of paint on this and put a few bumpers and stuff on it because it's looking fairly shook now at the moment. Oh, look, Project Mew. Nice. Oh, no, you. Cool. Kid's heart. R.I.P.
Oh, look, it's on Project Moo on this side.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a nice colour.
It is a nice colour, isn't it?
Comes up really well with the.
Yeah, it really, really jumps off it.
Yeah, it really pops.
Head onto the internet there.
On the internet, it's died up.
Onto WAP.
From the outsiders, it made
That
the
has to be the car.
same colour.
Yeah,
Like,
has to be the car. Look, sponsored by Kyorad. Kyorad would have been on the back of it. That is definitely the car. It's almost too cool to paint over.
or at least replicate them.
Car Modify Wonder. It's the nicest kit really for C33, I would say. Very, very nice. And it's so nice that it has all the graphics on it.
Paint the kit in as well.
Yeah, ideal.
Just paint the car with, yeah.
Yeah, to match the kit. This is still somehow attached. Supervising. Dogs are definitely just going like, these lads are fucking Egypts. It's just genuine lead. Precision cuts, Reuben.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is fucking great.
Alright.
7 hours later. The jack won't fit under the kit because the
No.
car is too low.
Which is why I'm thinking of selling the kit now because,
Yeah, because it's not practical.
yeah, this was a practical car an hour ago.
Was it?
5-cylinder.
5-cylinder.
5-cylinder conversion.
5-cylinder conversion, yeah. Oh man, she's on the tyre. Stance Nation. Someone somewhere would think that's acceptable. Is it a wonderful puzzle?
It's really getting fucking.
Annoying.
I'm just gonna flush this all onto the fucking car.
Yeah, you may as well. It's the easiest option. I think it looks 10 times fucking better. Your car is nice looking, but the Modify Wonder kit is gorgeous. And the inside arches, and even the CRO ones are very nice look.
I reckon I'll paint it for Sunday anyway.
What do you think?
Yeah, happy.
Are you?
Yeah, I was worried. That wouldn't be able to pull it off, but it looks like it's got that added aggression that I was looking for.
Yeah.
It's more rounded.
V2.
I was saying it's either go full square back to OEM, which I really like, with nice wheels, with a nice lip on the front, or this, which is basically, I suppose you'd call it full retard, but it's
Yeah, it's kind of a blend of, I don't know, all the things you like about
Yeah,
Laurels.
and the arches are have a story to them. Like, and
Mm.
this is why all this happened.
It's nice to see the vision. It's nice that we could appreciate it.
I'd nearly just order a set of them.
Yeah, while they still make them.
Yeah.
I like where V2 is going. I think the car deserves it. It served you very well, and
Yeah, it might not be Advan anymore. Then we need to pick a colour, or a colour scheme, or a livery.
yeah. Take it off. Cool.
Yeah, I'll leave.
Beautiful. Well done.